Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Jay Cohn. Investigators still looking for clues into what might have sparked a fire last night at a Billings siding and door business.
The blaze that kept fire crews busy for 12 hours straight tore through the South Billings business, causing $1.2 million in damages.
This evening, investigators with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, along with Billings Police and Fire, trying to track down what sparked Wednesday night's blaze in this Billings business.
The call to Linrich Seamless Siding Windows and Doors came in around 8:30 Wednesday night. Firefighters were on scene at 510 South Moore Lane until 8 this morning, even calling in a mobile air unit. Officials say heat from the flames caused major damage to the building's structural steel, the office area, and as well to contents inside the warehouse. All of it sustained heavy fire and smoke damage, but again, no word yet on a possible cause. Well, if you took in last year's 4th of July fireworks from the Billings Rims, it may have been the last time. Fire Chief Bill Rash today says that while nothing catastrophic happened last year, they did notice multiple things that could have gone wrong. And while Rash says he understands that people want to be able to use the areas up atop the rim rocks, it's his duty is to protect all citizens, and the danger, he says, is simply too high. So the area will be closed starting this coming Tuesday morning, July 3rd, and will remain closed through Thursday the 5th. The closure will span the area along the rims from Main Street in the Heights to Zimmerman Park. There will be no access for vehicles, bikes, or pedestrians.
If a fire were to start up there, then we would have a real issue because a little bit of wind, the wrong conditions, and then all of a sudden we have structures, people, a lot of problems that we may not have the resources to contain in a timely manner. So again, we're trying to do everything that we can do within our power to try to prevent any of that from happening. And Rash says he hopes the public understands and helps the fire department to keep the holiday safe for everyone. On to the weather scene now. Q2's Ed McIntosh in for Bob McGuire. And he's talking about some big storms over on our neighbors in North Dakota.
That's right. We thought we'd take a look around and see some of the other areas because Sheila Draper sent us this picture from around the Minot area where they started to see some of the strongest severe storms where her son is, and also a few areas where we've seen funnel clouds and tornadoes up through north central North Dakota. We expected to see some of that activity. Also watching some pretty large hail. Every one of those icons show where we had reports of hail up to about baseball sized in some cases. And as we look to the south into Wyoming, it was an extremely hot day. Temperatures record setters, Grable, Worland, Casper, and Riverton. Closer look at our forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed.
Well, one by one, the key players involved in the new One Big Sky project for downtown Billings are getting on board.
Earlier this week, the Billings City Council voted to move forward in the planning process with the Hammis Development Group. On Tuesday, the Downtown Billings Alliance followed suit, and this morning, the Big Sky Economic Development Board endorsed its role in the project as well. The Billings Chamber of Commerce Board will meet next week to consider its support.
Steve Arviskow, the EDA director, says the key work will now take place between now and the end of the year as the One Big Sky District Development Plan takes shape. At its heart, so-called catalyst projects that could spur other development and investment as well.
You may see a large mixed-use kind of development that includes a civic convention center piece that is attached to new hotel and mixed-use development, residential, office, other sorts of mixed-use opportunities, civic plaza. The planning area includes the medical corridor. You could see other concepts. We need to do a much better job of connecting our medical corridor with the right kind of infrastructure to our downtown.
As for local support, both First Interstate and Stockman Banks are involved as contributing partners.
And Arviskow says the hope is to have the project's development plan in place by the time the 2019 legislature convenes in January.
A cultural change in entertainment and movies makes some people think violence is an acceptable solution for problems.
Well, that was one of the messages presented tonight about gunmen who choose to carry out the worst kind of violence. Q2's David Jay is here with us more about tonight's active shooter presentation. David?
Well, Jay and Jeanelle, Patrick Hoy says 98% of shooters are male and 69% of those do not intend on surviving. He talked about helping these people and potentially saving lives and what to do during a shooting. Jay and Jeanelle, they're introducing Patrick Hoy before his shooter defense presentation, which he is also given here at the station. Hoy has read FEMA reports on active shooters and uses his military experience to understand those shooters. He said his talk is based on the run, hide, fight response and says mental preparation is the key.
When it starts happening, the human body experiences shock, and shock creates confusion, and confusion causes us to freeze in place. And that's the one thing you don't want to do when one of these events start taking place. I give people ideas on how they can have themselves mentally prepared to lessen the period of shock and have themselves ready to respond quickly and survive.
Patrick Hoy says the chances are slim of being in a shooting situation, but he also said practicing running from a desk to an exit will even help, and not having to think about it could save a few seconds. Jay?
All right, thank you, David. Along the Montana-Idaho border, the body of a second hunter has now been recovered from the remote Selway River. It was back in May that 4 hunters disappeared when their SUV overturned into the swollen river. Just 2 days ago, Forest Service workers found the body of 22-year-old Reese Rollins of Oregon, some 40 miles downstream from the accident site. And today, the body of 21-year-old Kobe Clark of Bozeman was recovered. That body recovered about 60 miles downstream from the accident site. Idaho County Sheriff Doug Giddings says they'll now have to rely on backcountry travelers to find the bodies of the other 2 missing hunters. 2 other hunters who were also in that SUV were able to make it out safely to shore and were then alerting authorities about the accident.
The Department of Justice has released a long-awaited Inspector General report looking into how the FBI handled its investigation of Hillary Clinton's emails. Nikki Batiste is on Capitol Hill.
The Department of Justice Inspector General says James Comey damaged the FBI's reputation when he went public with his recommendation in the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
We are expressing to Justice our view that no charges are appropriate in this case.
President Trump ultimately fired the FBI director and has been critical of the agency.
It reaffirmed the president's suspicions about Comey's conduct.
The watchdog report also says Comey was wrong to announce he was reopening the investigation when more emails were discovered just days before the 2016 election. The 18-month review found Comey's decisions were not politically motivated.
The actions reviewed in this report helped Donald Trump win the election, not the other way around.
Comey tweeted the report's conclusions are reasonable, even though he disagrees with some of them. Republicans on Capitol Hill may have new ammunition in a push for a new investigation. The report includes text messages between FBI agent Peter Strzok, who worked on the Clinton investigation, and DOJ lawyer Lisa Page. Page texted, "Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right?" Strzok replied, No, he won't. We'll stop it."
Not appropriate, and it mirrors similar statements that he's made or that they unearthed before.
The FBI is vowing a top-to-bottom retraining of all its employees.
Of avoiding even the appearance of personal conflicts or political bias in our work.
The report has suggested possible disciplinary proceedings against the 2 FBI employees who sent the texts, along with 3 others. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Hillary Clinton responded late today in a three-word tweet saying, "But my emails." It was tongue-in-cheek in reference to another part of the report that found former FBI Director James Comey had also used his personal email to conduct official business.
Still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news, Montana health insurers now filing their 2019 rates for individual policies on the Obamacare marketplace. We'll have more on that coming up.
Plus, it's politics aside for Democrats and Republicans as they round the bases today in the annual congressional baseball game.
And in sports tonight, Mustangs baseball back in town as the boys of summer return for the 2018 Pioneer League season.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire and sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news.